Hey everybody, how's it going? Music with Todd Ledbetter here. And hey, I've got an interesting one for you. Now, I did some Scott Walker earlier in the week from his Scott 4 um, release back in the 60s. Can't remember, 64, 69, can't remember what it was. We're going to do something a little different. Scott Walker still. But this is going to be his Drift album that was released in 2006. Had been like many years since he had released an album when he released this one. The one before that, before Drift, was his Tilt album, which was released in the 90s, 1995. So 11 years since he had released an album. But by the time in 95, when he released Tilt, it was very avant-garde, and once again, this Drift album is very avant-garde. And as you listen to it, I think that when you're listening, it's not an easy listen at first. And I think if I was to compare it with other music in its complexity and your ability to understand it on a first listen, I think I would probably look at King Crimson, possibly. And I think would be like sort of a good example of, music that is exceptional, but also very avant-garde at times and experimental at times, and very complex, and yet it takes some doing to understand it and to get into it. Now, I mean, I feel that way about a lot of styles of music, frankly. I mean, jazz. I'm not huge into jazz. I find it very difficult. I feel rap is difficult for me, but I put more effort into things like this for some reason. And so I wanted to share this with you. This is Scott Walker from his, 2006, the Drift album. And I'm going to just start with the opening track, Cossacks Are. And let's go ahead and take a listen to this, and let me know what you think. If you think my comparison to Emerson, Lake and Palmer, not Emerson, Lake and Palmer, but King Crimson is, as far as the listenability and the avant-garde style. Anyways, let's get right into it. Here's Scott Walker, Cossacks Are.
Moving on for a vanishing style of mine. A noble debut, tackling vertiginous demand. Has absence ever sound so eloquent, so sad? With an arm across the torso, face on the nails. With an arm across the torso, face on the pale monkey nails. Touch you in the shattered lines that unearth. A nocturne filled with glorious ideas. exploration of erotic consumption. With an arm across the torso, face on the nails. With an arm across the torso, face on the pale monkey nail. Cossacks are charging in the fields of white roses. Cossacks are charging in the fields of white roses. That's a nice suit, that's a swanky suit. Been a pope like no other. I'm looking for a good cowboy. A rare outcry makes you lead a larger life. You could easily picture this in the current top 10. Medieval savagery, calculated cruelty. It's hard to pick the worst moments. It's hard to pick the worst moments. With an arm across the torso, face on the nails. With an arm across the torso, face on the pale monkey nails.
All right. Any questions, class? Any questions at all? Just raise your hand. Let me know. Okay, so I already mentioned King Crimson, and for me, it's been kind of a lifetime of understanding them. I mean, I first heard them when I was a child, and it was like I didn't understand. And it's been like the last 10 years where I have purposely gone out of my way to try to understand King Crimson. And I have to say, if they didn't block their music on YouTube, I would definitely like to play Starlight for one thing. But Scott Walker went from like a late 50s pop idol in Europe to this avant-garde style musician. So I think you can see maybe the comparison might make sense to those that understand or know of King Crimson. So yeah, very, very avant-garde. And he still has other albums as well after this. This was 2006. I think his last album was 2016 before his passing, which was a couple of years ago, I do believe. It's a very orchestral type of music. And I don't even think there's any lyrics in it, but I haven't really listened to it. And it's been a long time since I listened to Drift, and I listened to Tilt the other day, the whole way through, and I was just absorbed completely into the whole vibe of it. I was just kind of in a trance. I was just headphone, just sitting here and just enjoyed it for what it was. And it was very, very good on a very bizarre level. All right. So, hey, let's cut this down short. I will say that I did post my Tom Petty, his Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers album over on my Patreon, his very first album. go over there and check it out. It's a very fun album, very poppy, very eclectic as well, but in a more poppy way. It's got American Girl on it and Breakdown, and then a lot of songs you probably never heard, but you're really going to like. So go over there on my Patreon. I'll put the link down in the description. Go ahead and click the thumbs up button here on this one, or thumbs down, or let me know what you think of this style of Scott Walker. You know, if it's an introductory, I probably already know what you think, but if you have some experience with this style of music or with Scott's later recordings in the last couple decades of his life, you know, give me some insight on what you think. That way it'll help me grow in my knowledge there. And I really appreciate you guys clicking on my channel and listening to what I've got to present here. And we will see you next time. And I think I'm going to do one more today for you. And it's going to be something very different than this. All right. Bye-bye.